welcome to the first ever casting panel here at the Film Festival. As some of you know, this year marks the first time that an Oscar will be given to the best casting director. Is long overdue. Film is a collaborative process. It takes many, many artisans and talent to put a film together, and the casting directors have an integral role in the success of a film. We're so excited to have the 5 nominated casting directors with us, representing Marty Supreme, Sinners, One Battle After Another, Hamnet, and The Secret Agent. But before I bring the panelists out, let's take a look at clips from the 5 different nominated films. Let's take a look. And we're back. I want to emphasize that the group of individuals that I'm going to introduce are this is historic. It's the first group ever to be nominated for Casting Directors Oscars. Please welcome Jennifer Venditti, Marty Supreme, Francine Maisler, Sinners, Cassandra Kouloukounis, One Battle After Another, Nina Gold, Hamnet, Gabriel Dominguez, The Secret Agent, and give a warm welcome to our moderator, editor-in-chief at Gold Derby, Deborah Birnbaum.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming out. As Roger said, give it up for our first class of casting director nominees. Look at those smiles. So let's just start there. What does it mean to you to finally have the casting, what does it mean to you to finally have casting directors be recognized as an Oscar category? Jennifer, you want to start?
Well, it's a very timely question for me. I just happened to have I rewatched this morning Casting By, because I've been thinking a lot about Marianne Dotry. I obviously never knew her, and I don't know if any of you know the documentary Casting By, but she was she was an incredible casting director that was a pioneer in kind of getting the single credit and bringing her creativity and her original point of view into casting, and just it made me really emotional. This woman was an incredible pioneer, and she did Midnight Cowboy and was never even given a credit, and it was all her. So it just makes me emotional to think, like, that this is happening, and
so sweet.
Yeah, and so I just feel I'm thinking of people like that have come before us, and it's like we're sitting up here, but it's on behalf of everyone. I feel like it's us here, but this is really important for our community. And when I watched that film today and just hearing people's opinion, like there were directors that felt like we should never get a credit, we should never be called casting directors because we're not directors, and and in the documentary, they're debating of like, oh, well, the director makes the decisions. It's like, well, the director makes the decisions for every department. And it's just crazy to watch that again and realize how long this has taken and how much people resisted it and thought that we didn't do anything. That this was like a secretarial job or something. So,
or cattle herder forever.
Yeah, I could talk about it forever. I want to let other people talk about it. But I always say we're the first people to come on at the beginning of a movie. We're the most important people at the beginning, and we're treated as the most important people in the beginning, and we're the first to be forgotten at the end. And I think that's changing now, so.
You should just drop the mic.
Well, that was a great panel. Thanks for coming, everybody.
I think we all agree, so next question.
I just anyway.
Francine, you want to add to that?
Oh, Emma said so beautifully, and I think that we're here because of them. And we're here because of another group of people that fought very hard for this. I'm going to forget somebody, but Kim Coleman and Laura Kennedy and David Rubin and Deborah Zane and Richard Hicks, and they fought for years. And I think they asked many of my directors to make a film that they, how they felt about it. And I'm just very proud. I'm very proud of sitting here with everyone here and Cassandra.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously they've said everything that I would say. It's just been, it's strange because obviously I want people to know what we do, and I want, like, it only will help us as well continue on. Actually having the lights on me, though, is another story. So that would be nice if that didn't happen, but the actual job is super important. The people who do it are super important. And we are here to make people comfortable, allow them to do their best work. We do direct them in the auditions. We try to get them the role, and then we show the director, and then we're done. But that's what we do. We like to make people comfortable, and this is not comfortable. So how to get people to this place where they can actually talk to you, to everybody else, and not have this feedback. But yeah, no, I think that it's great if people know now what we do, and I mean Marion Doherty as well, and all the people behind us, Lynn Stallmaster, and the people fighting for us. I don't know if you said Bernie, but Bernie Telsey too.
Bernie, yeah.
These are people who could and should have been nominated, who should be awarded, and one of us is going to win.
Ellen Chenoweth,
Ellen Lewis, the Ellens. Oh, well, we gotta love the Ellens, but this is the year that it's happening, so I just hope we don't mess it up for anybody else.
I don't think you will. Nina?
I think I already just did.
Yes, everything they said. And also, it really does feel great that we are now recognized as creative partners in the filmmaking alongside all of our other colleagues, and it's really wonderful. And it is hard, I think, for people outside to understand what casting directors do, because casting is a thing that pretty well everybody has a kind of opinion on. But it's great that we're being recognized as the people who are actually doing it. And the 97 years before of great people will be getting it with us.
Well, I agree with all of them. They said it perfectly, and I'm really honored and really happy to be here, sitting here side by side with them, because they are so amazing. I'm such a huge fan of them, and all the movies, all the clips are incredible, and they did such an amazing job. It's very inspiring for me to be here, and I'm glad that we are getting this recognition on all the mystery around what we do, and we're having the chance to say it more and to talk about it and to explain the details of our profession. It's amazing, and it's all. That's it.
So let's try to unpack that mystery a little bit and help explain what it is that you do and how you do it. And then maybe you want to share an example of a specific casting. I mean, all of your films had such great either ensemble casts or discoveries. Do you want to talk about that, Gabriel? I know, Secret Agent had such a tremendous ensemble cast, and many of them were non-actors. Do you want to talk about your process?
Yes, that's interesting, because I guess even in Brazil, people ask me the origin of the actors in the movie, and many of them are professional actors, but maybe they doesn't look like what people usually expect to see on a movie, and they doesn't look like actors they are supposed to look like. So it's interesting to explain that, because many of them came from, I don't know, some small theater or church theater in small villages, small cities, but they are professional in a way, in their own way. And I guess the movie absorbed the realness of it, like, and that's what we do. Like, that's what casting directors do. We are trying to connect the human aspects and the potential of someone to be shooted. And in the case of The Secret Agent, we mixed it with many amazing Brazilian famous actors like Wagner Moura and Maria Fernanda Cândido, Gabriel Leone. They're super professional. And the mix, in Kleber's movie, there's always this kind of mix of experience, like people who has done almost nothing with very professional actors. And it works in a way, if you have like the time and the care to create a healthy environment of them to rehearsal and to prepare themselves. But I don't know, maybe it's an interesting thing to thought that many of those actors wasn't as professional as they could be, but now they're like giving this whole energy, and they are very expressive in the movie, so I'm really glad.
Nina, when it came to building the world of Hamnet, it seems like, oh, gee, isn't it obvious that, you know, Paul and Jesse are going to be this like hot couple? But how did you even begin to build that world around them?
Well, we started with Jessie in the character of Agnes, because that she does seem to be the heart of the film, and it does seem obvious now, but I guess I really did think it would be Jessie from the beginning, because she's so connected to the kind of environment in the way that Agnes is. But you know, obviously you do have to think about, you know, 100 other people as well, and we kind of built from there, and Paul and Jessie kind of being very much people of the, you know, current fabulous people that we cast them, and then the older people around them are people that one has been watching doing their incredible work for years. And then we had to find the kids, which was the thing that I used to wake up in the middle of the night thinking, we're not going to find them, I'm never going to be able to do this, it's going to, and then, so again, you meet a lot of kids and put them through hours of grueling auditions. But you kind of have to, because you have to be sure that it's really going to be the right thing. And yeah, a lot of that.
Cassandra, you've worked with PTA for years. Does it get easier or harder having that relationship through so many films?
He's not here. And yet he's everywhere.
I was going to say he's not listening, but yet.
So it doesn't. It gets easier in some way because I know his tastes and I know what he wants, and we bonded on that early. We literally became friends because I knew an actor he thought no one knew, and was a family friend, and that was that. We were in it to win it. I see tons of movies. I live for them, so that's what I'm doing all the time. I'm going to theater, I'm watching TV, I'm going to movies, and I'm like going boom, 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 boom. And I'm trying to champion people that haven't had jobs, and they all, this is the beauty of working on a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Everybody kind of wants to be in it. We now are down to like maybe 2 passes a film, and that's pretty great. But in Boogie Nights, we got 172 passes. So that is helpful, and so I know what he wants, but there's also this gamble. Are we going to go actor? Are we going to go some people that, musician, somebody who's never seen, or somebody from the street? So sometimes I have to run around and do all 3, and I never know which is going to be the winner kind of thing. I end up getting like the best of each, and then we kind of look at the rest of the cast, and we really do make it so that it's organic and flows. This is a beast of a film, and it goes, just high pass, and I'd be on the streets looking for, immigrants and that were legal, and then I'd be like, I found 3 Venezuelans today. He's like, find 10 more, and I was like, oh my God. And you're in these towns where you don't know you can find people. So sometimes there's that erratic and exciting thing, and then there's other times where you get to literally read Tony Goldwyn and Kevin High, and you're like, I mean, I chose that clip because I still can't get over that, the Christmas Adventures. And Christmas Ted, who's sitting right there in the room, like just being this weird presence. Like, I love them. And it was so hard to get them. Tim Smith, John Hugenacher, was the hardest person. Like, that role, I read more people than you can imagine while I'm on the streets looking for Venezuelans. I mean, that's Paul Thomas Anderson. So, does that sound easy to you? I don't know. Maybe it is. And now he'll kill me.
Francine, what was your approach to casting Sinners?
Well, I just want to say, as I'm sitting here with everyone, how wonderful it is that this is it's global. That we have from Brazil, from London,
New York.
New York. I'm an New Yorker, so but live now in LA, and I think it really is wonderful that we're here, each of us. There's so many other people that were deserving, you know, also of a nomination, but I think it's a great representation of how global casting directors are. Sinners, sinners, sinners. I love this movie so much, and I think I don't want to speak for anyone else, but we're all lucky to have, I know most of the directors here, except your director, and they all rely on us, and they, putting it together, putting Sinners together was one of the great experiences in my life, because I entered a world of the blues which I wasn't familiar with. And so we kind of start part by part, and then it just builds. And then you look back and you go, whoa, like, you know, you can't believe how you got there. As I always say, and I think it's for everyone up here, we all panic and think we're never going to be able to do this, or never, as long as I've been doing this, I still feels like the first time. And I guess for me, instead of getting into the details, I'm an audience member who also likes to see some interesting new people on the screen. And I like to lose myself. I grew up in the theater and in film, and I like to lose myself. So that's always in the back of my head when I'm casting something. And I think I'm so proud that some of the actors in this are getting, they got a script where they were able to show their true talent. And that's what I'm very deeply, it's deeply satisfying. And it comes from Ryan, so.
Jennifer, I'd love to hear you talk about Marty Supreme. I mean, obviously, you know, we've got Timothy in a central role, but you built a world around him from a lot of non-professional actors. It was such a sort of a surprise and delight to see some of those people show up. How did you approach that?
Well, I relate to a lot of the sentiments already said, but you know, Josh, we always approach, I have a documentary background, and Josh does as well, and I think he always says he approaches everything as a documentary. So, you know, I first try to feel the world, experience the world in some way. So if that's, I talk to a lot of consultants in the table tennis world, and I went to a lot of clubs. And then Josh kind of shares all of his story. He does tons and tons and tons of research. Every person from the star to someone that has, you know, 10 lines has a deep backstory. So I get to learn, I read the script, but I learn from him so much more about the characters that I start to really know them as people. And then I always kind of relate to it almost as like a painter with a canvas. So after I learn all of that, then I go into my archives and I start pulling faces and people of like this, you know, and then we start making lists of actors and then I share that with Josh, just like without knowing if people can do the role or anything, but it's just, we get inspired and you want to just start seeing like, what if this person was this? And what if that person, and because we've been working together for a while, we'll sometimes, like we both found Luke in different places, you know, or we'll both, like I thought of Isaac and then Josh knew Isaac growing up, you know, so there's like, we have kindred ideas that then when it comes to fruition, it's like, we just go fast, which is so nice about when you work with someone, when you have a shorthand with someone and they can just receive your idea and you don't have to, and then there's other people where, like Odessa, I really thought of her immediately, but like Nina said, sometimes the director, you still have to go through the process and you have to see hundreds of people and you're just like, I know who it is, you know? But you just, there's something, I was thinking about that today after watching Casting By, because Marianne spoke about how like she would sometimes bring one person in for every role and she just knew. And the world we're in today, because we have access to so many actors, because we can go all over the world and the internet and put postings up and open calls, and there's this thing now, I feel like there's a thing of how many people did you see for a role? Like don't you feel that in a way that like...
It's the same as dating right now.
Yeah, it's
everyone's
like if somehow if we saw 1,000 people, it makes it more special than literally I knew who it was without seeing anyone. And sometimes that happens. It happens to me on a lot of jobs where literally in the first round, the person was in there, but months, and then you come back to the same person. So
I try to hide it.
Yeah, and there's also
then you hide it from the director.
That's part of our
and
job.
don't show them.
There's
first.
a psychology to it of how you present someone. Like Odessa was that for me, of like really perfecting her audition. Like Cassandra said, like we're directing in that way, and then adding other things that you think might help, and then waiting to show it, and then where you show it in the. Anyways.
Well, maybe now that people understand casting, that won't happen as much because like this is what we do.
Yeah, but I get it. There's a I mean, we're all like this as humans.
I'll never show my best first.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why do I have to show you 100 before I show you the one?
I know.
Like at some point, this is what I do. And how many years do I have to do it before you actually trust me?
And I think that the people when.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I know I should be like really nice, but.
I have to give Josh credit if he ever says this, but he does say now, he's like, you saved this, and like, how did I not listen to you? And you know, I think there's directors that can admit that and say that, and then there's other people that can't.
Also, in the end, we all really have to rely on is our own instinct for what's going to be right. And that's really the main tool in our toolbox.
Yeah, and sometimes, and just to be honest, like sometimes you get it like that. It's so clear and you're unwavering and you know, and there's times where I'm not sure, you know, and it's a true collaboration. And there's times that my directors will bring something to me and I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. You know, it is a collaboration. I'm not, for sure, and yeah.
I mean, you're both building it, and you have to. The more you show, also, the more you realize what's missing. They're like, oh, but I wish. I mean, like Tim Smith. That's why I use him as an example. My character that John Hugenhager finally played. There were so many boxes he wanted checked for that one role.
Yeah.
And it was like, so I would show him something, and he'd be like, no, I want more of this, more of that. So it was literally like trying on a dress. It was like we're getting married, you're trying to find the dress, the right cut, and thank God for him. I still say he saved my life because I wasn't sure that I was going to be.
And that's
the role that seems easy somehow, but like you never know which one it's going to be.
And that's a good point too. It's like for the actors out there, that you make us look good. And when someone does it and does the thing for us, it's so satisfying.
And also for that actor who whooped, sometimes it's not what you do or don't do. Like sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Like you're great and you might be right for another role. So when you come in, we might say, hey, do you want to play this? There's such a specific part to it, and you're just not, no matter how great an actor you are, you're Meryl freaking Streep, you're not going to be able to play that part, and that's okay. But it's our job to find what part you do play. And I mean, And that's the best, when I actually give a part to somebody that I know that they wanted, that they never would have gotten, and then they just shine in it. It's like, and then they go off and I never see them again.
Yes, I guess one very curious thing that I found about the nature of our work is that we work with a lot of collaboration, with helping the director or somebody else to see what we are seeing, and we have to convince them, and we have to sometimes explain and I don't know, seduce him to be interested in the same way we are. And that's a hard thing. But another thing is we receive many suggestions, and we have to have this filter on what works and what don't work. So we centralize the thing. We are the eye responsible for the whole casting, the whole process, and that's a thing. It's an important thing for a movie, right? Choosing the human beings that are there being shooted. So I don't know. That's something that sometimes people, it might seem easier than it really is. Like to find someone interesting or to find someone good looking to the camera, like. But it's not that easy. It's hard.
I think a good segue from that is all of you made great discoveries this season. Your films had big stars, but then you also discovered great talent alongside them. Cassandra, maybe I'll start with you in discovering Chase Infinity. Can you talk about that story?
Chase is exactly that, you know, like the Toy Story line, and she's in the. What a gift to the world, to be totally honest, because she's also a great human, a lovely person, and she takes direction, and she was quiet, she was innocent, she was sweet, she had done nothing, but she has this unbelievable look, and she can look 14, and then she can look 27. Like, it's incredible, and she has so much talent, and all she needed was somebody to be like, we see you, there's no wrong here, go for it. And when she's unleashed, it's incredible. And so she's absolutely a gift to the world. And she can dance and she can sing, FYI. So like she's gonna be out there for she's gonna be working when she's 89 years old, no doubt. But finding her was hell. Damn. I mean, by the time, when I started, she wasn't even in college. She was like probably in 7th grade when I started looking for this girl, if I could do the math. And no, she would probably been like, 10th grade. But so, you know, I went to I went to studios, I went to tournaments, I scrolled all over the internet. I read every actor that was like between 12 and like 20, and just kept looking, and I knew exactly what I wanted, but and they were great reads. You know, we came down to like 5 or 6 or 7, and then slowly whittled down. All of them were great. Once again, it's like the specific little things. But Chase came in like a wrecking ball, and just was so perfect for me, but I needed to still show that she could be a warrior and a fighter, because she is very demure and very elegant and very sweet, but she screams all through that movie, like, ah! And you're like, yes. And like, I remember the time that I told her, we were at a kickboxing, we're doing a gym thing, so Paul could see her being like whatever, and I was like screaming, and I was what I called Francis Ford Coppolaing. I was just like, this guy's gonna get you, he's gonna murder you, he's got a gun. Like she just attacked that bag like a maniac, and then I was like, there's Willa. And that was the last thing that she basically did, and then it was like, get her to wardrobe.
And that was you being a director.
Oh, not a casting agent? Are you sure? Okay.
Francine, was that Miles for you, that discovery?
Oh, I hate to say I discovered anybody. I mean, this kid was on stage with her, opening act. And I have to say that I think what's important when any of us look for these unknown people is that we give everybody the opportunity, that's what's really important to me, that we reach out to all the universities, to all the, anywhere. You know, Miles could have been in Germany performing with her, and if we wouldn't have reached out around the world, we might not have caught him. He was just another tape that came in. Somebody had said, oh, there's this kid, and he's opening for her, and try it. So we try everything, and I think he touches my heart, and his parents do. His parents are gospel singers, and I'm just so glad that in this crazy world that we're living in, that we can see people like Chase and Odessa and Miles maybe changing the world a little bit, because there are really beautiful souls out there that that I'm just very, very, very happy to know him and to have helped in this journey that he was going to be found, but maybe it wouldn't have been in acting, and so, yeah.
Nina, you mentioned how hard it was to find the kids, and then you found Jacoby. How did you find him?
Well, he had auditioned for me a few months, maybe a year before, for a BBC thing, this adaptation of Lord of the Flies that's actually coming out tomorrow, but you won't be able to see it because you don't get the BBC here, I don't think. And he'd auditioned, and he was incredible, but he was too young. And so I kind of knew that there was this incredible kid there in the back of my mind. But obviously one does feel the need to be properly thorough with new, especially with young and new people. So we did a very, very thorough, enormous audition process. But with him, we kept bringing him in and trying him. And every time he came in, he had this incredible access to his own kind of inner life without seeming to have to display it at all. And he was just better and better every time. And then we tried him with Olivia, the little girl, and she was also amazing. And then they did this incredibly long improvisation, quite difficult improvisation with Chloe. And finally they came and did a bit of improvising with Paul and Jessie, and that just sealed. It was so clear that he was just the perfect person from that moment on, and we did it.
And then his brother came along.
And then his brother came along at the last minute, and that was pretty great as well. And his brother had also been an incredible child actor and is now a brilliant young man actor. And he was exactly what we wanted to do. And then for months and months we couldn't, because he was doing another movie. And then some miracle of dates moving around suddenly happened, and it was like the most incredible thing that had ever happened.
Gabriel, what about for you? Was there one role that you feel like was really hard to cast and then you were able to discover somebody?
I guess, yes, a few roles was difficult to cast because I guess, for example, this clip that was exhibited here, this police chief guy, I guess Kleber we were creating this period drama on the 70s in Brazil under the dictatorship. So he had on his ideas a few archetypes that he wants to represent. And in this case of this guy, this actor who plays the Delegado Euclides, it was really easy to turn the character into something very repulsive and very unpleasant to see or rude or something like that, because he acts in a very rude way during the whole movie. And we did many auditions. We did like an open call and received many videos. And this actor sent us a video of he presenting himself, and I watched it and I found that he has a funny face, like he has some charming, he has some funny aspects that it would be good. And he actually worked as a clown for many years because he came from a specific state from Brazil where there's a very traditional a traditional art of clowns and this kind of stuff. So we did audition with him, and I find him very, I guess that he contributes a lot for the character to get like complexity and I don't know, different layers from what we usually expect to see in a movie of a corrupt police chief and all that. So that was a character that it was hard to understand with Kleber and Emily, the producer, like what we are looking for, what we want to see on this character, right? Something unobvious to get to a non-obvious place of representation of the character. And there were some roles that had this complexity of trying to make a twist, because I think that on Kleber's movies, on Secret Agent specifically, there's always some social commentary about Brazilian social life, like about Brazilian contradictions. And I guess that the casting process was a process to help the movie to create this discourse, this idea of a very ambiguous state of society that we're living by that time. Dona Sebastiana, yes, she's amazing. We all love her. But she had done other Kleber's movie before. She was in Bacurau, and she's fantastic. She's a 78 now, old lady that started to act when she was 72. But she came from a specific.
That's my future, I'm going to say.
There's hope for us yet.
I'm 72.
No, but that's
what I'm going to
interesting.
do. There's hope for me, huh?
Because we all fell in love with her when we seen her for the first time, because she was like doing a movie as an extra, and she was like, I don't mind. I'm do whatever you want. Like she wasn't given that much importance for that, because she lived a lot, you know. And then we discovered that she's a cinematic, charismatic star, and she's amazing in the movie. And she contributes a lot for the whole the group of people who's around her in her house, because she whenever she comes to scene, she gets in scene. All the actors are very connected to her sensibility and her sense of humor, and her scenes got this lightness, this something that's good to see. I love her.
She should be doing stand-up also. Honestly, she should do stand-up as well. She's so funny.
Yes. No, she's very funny.
Jennifer, you mentioned Odessa. Was there another discovery that you're really proud of from Marty?
I was thinking about it, everyone was talking. I mean, it was 150 roles. So and as I was saying before, for me, this film, more than other films I've worked on, was a real tapestry of. And it was my first period piece. So when I think of every single one of them was this idea of, we looked at a lot of street photography from the 50s, and every location from the bowling alley to the hotel to Lawrence's, the locations had these real personalities of, like, Lawrence's was this place where the misfits would hang out and find refuge. We wanted the faces to tell the story of the place. So Ted Williams, the golden voice man, he's on there. The George Gerwin. There were the bowling alley, Spencer Gray and Lee Von Hock. all those faces. Isaac, who I had street scout him. He was a baseball, a collector of baseball cards, and he happened to be a great table tennis player. And then he came in, and we had them do improv. They'd be playing. We'd have all the guys, different variations of the guys come in and do improv and play table tennis as they were, we'd throw lines at them, or we'd throw a random person to come in.
How lucky are we?
I mean, it was so fun.
The job that we do.
And everyone came in and they're just like, this is incredible. And then Koto, who played, the Japanese player, that was very hard. We had to find people that could play in that way and still be cinematic, And then just dealing with all those, it was during the Olympics, and, what I learned about table tennis players, it's they're very intense and there's tons of practice. So finding these players that could be cinematic in their faces and be able to play, that was difficult. Anyways, I could go on. It just felt like the size of it and wanting to stay so true to the period and really get people lost in this cinematic world of, faces that some would call they're flawed, but we feel are beautiful.
What about chemistry tests? Is that still a thing? How do you build chemistry? I mean, it's one thing to find the perfect person for the role, but what if they don't work with someone else that you've already cast? How do you make sure that chemistry works? Cassandra, you want to start?
Sadly, a lot of the times you don't get to do that anymore. You don't get enough time. So luckily, I'm a complete stalker, and I pretty much know everything about everybody, and I'm they're gonna love each other. And I've put people together that are married today. It's just something that it's part of what you do. But we got lucky on this one, obviously, because we got to test Chase with everyone. I played Bluto in all those scenes, and there's screen tests of me being yelled at by Leonardo DiCaprio, which is so funny. But Regina stepped up. Everyone came to read some people, but the Christmas Adventures, that was all me. I had to be with Paul, obviously. These guys are going to work, but we can't get them all in a room together to make sure. So you read them, we read them for all the different parts, different lines. You could take that line, you take this line, so that we kind of had a tapestry when we could put it together. It's hard because everyone's everywhere else now, and you don't get as much lead time. No matter what your budget is, you always need more money and you always need more time. So you have to do this very, very quickly. So I just spend time with every single person. I talk to every single person, and then I just get an instinct, like you said, between my stalker and the instinct, and I'm here we go. These two are gonna be great. And everybody loves everybody on this film. This is what's so crazy. I mean, I'm in love with every single person on the screen, and they all like each other. It's amazing. And I feel 10th film, I guess it all finally just came together, and I can retire.
Please don't.
I think you just said it. Really good casting, you can tell, Tyler, the creator, and Timothy, it's they could have chemistry with a dead person. There are certain people that you just, they don't need to do a chemistry test, I think. There's certain, and then there are situations, not in this film, we didn't do any, but other projects where you have to, if it's two newcomers, I think, I think when you have if you have a seasoned actor, in my experience, is if one person really understands the character and understand what needs to happen, they can create that, they can generate that. And that's the beauty of, I think, the alchemy of a seasoned actor with a non-seasoned actor, that one person's driving the scene and the other person's kind of going along with it, and then they rise up, to meet them, usually, in my experience. But I think when you have two newcomers, that's kind of when you want to have a chemistry test.
I just sitting, remembering them all reading. We were lucky to do screen tests. And I remember sitting up here at some other festival with Miles and reminding him reading with Jamie Lawson. And I said to him, and I think he's 19 or 18, and I said, that was hot when the two of you, and I think that's the most exciting is when you're in a room and seeing Wumi read with Michael B. Jordan. I just think, I mean, how lucky am I that I'm doing this job and sitting here and being part of it? And there are times when, I mean, on Dune, Timothy read with Zendaya, and on Succession, no one read with anyone, and people say that was the best chemistry. So I think each film is different, and if you can and have the time to see some people together, great. If you don't, I think when the best directors work with the caliber of casting directors I'm on stage with, we figure it out together.
Well, I guess one thing that was important for me during the process of The Secret Agent was to feel the chemistry not between actors necessarily, but between director and actor, because there were many people that we didn't have a previous experience or we didn't know at all. So we tried to create this meeting to know each other and to discuss the movie and to present the movie and to present the character and to make sure that all of them got it and feel it and have the certain idea of what we needed. So it is in a way chemistry as well, of course. And I think that between actors, it depends on the like we were working with Wagner Moura as this main character, and all Brazilian actors know him very well, likes him, and have this strong idea of him. So I remember we were making an audition with the girl who plays like Flavia, the girl who's in the present in The Secret Agent, and she have never done anything. And we did like 3 very hard scenes with her, including a final monologue where she has I don't know, she one of the last scenes of the movie, and she got so emotional. And I don't know, Kleber immediately invited her to, after that, we say like, it's all right, we got it. And Kleber, you're in the movie. You're gonna be her. And that's some kind of chemistry as well.
Sure. And then Nina, I was just thinking about Jacoby with Paul and Jesse as his parents. I mean, it really feels like they formed a bond there.
Yes. I mean, were lucky enough to do a chemistry test with Jesse and Paul, and we had tried a couple of other, also incredibly brilliant actors for the role of Shakespeare. And then Paul came in, and within about 30 seconds, it was clear that it was this incredible chemistry. And Chloe and I were kind of hiding in the corner of my pretty small casting room, trying to sort of melt into the wall to get out the way. I kept dropping the camera. It was, anyway, and they were incredible. And then we brought Jacoby and Olivia in to try out with them. And the first thing that happened is Paul picked him up and sort of whirled him round in the air like that scene near the river. And they were just so in it and so connected, and the ability to do a chemistry test at this occasion really did reveal that it was going to be right. Mm-hmm. But also, I think, as Gabriel said, a lot of the chemistry really is the director's skill to create an environment for the chemistry to exist and for people to really give everything they've got and to connect is also a lot due to the talent of the director.
What's the biggest misunderstanding people have about you and your work? Loaded question.
You go ahead.
The biggest misunderstanding, how would I know? That people tell me or that I think people have? Misunderstanding, I'd say Well, I hate it. I'll just tell you my pet peeve. I hate it when people call us casting agents. Oh my God, that is like just a trigger. So that tells me when someone says casting agents that we're just getting people jobs. It's just like a logistical thing. That, for me, is, I think, the misconception. I think you can hear from today that all of us, have a point of view, and there's a signature you can see from all of the films, and there's a real artistry in this craft, and it's obviously part of it is the logistics of getting someone hired, but that there's a craft in it.
I'm going to jump in on that because I get asked this all the time. Who's like the next great thing? Or who's a guy that's 30 that's really great?
Yeah.
I'm like, for what? Like, what are you doing? Like, what is it? Like, there's just not like, you want a list? Go to the internet and ask them, who's the great, it makes me crazy. That's not what we do. And everyone thinks anyone can do it if you have it, like, the internet. The role is so important, how we read it, how we understand it. There's not gonna be 100 people that are right for one role. And that's why we do what we do. We meet so many people, we read them, we learn what they're good at, we give them things to try other stuff. I mean, the misconception is like anyone can do this.
Yeah.
And it's just not true. And let me tell you, every person on the crew, they've got a thought, and I hear it. It comes back to me, and I'm like, yeah, let me tell you why that person's not right. And then I just go, my favorite is there's a very famous director was trying to help us, give us ideas, and I was like, you want to hire him, go right ahead. He can be your casting director, because those names are wrong, and I'll tell you why. Like, you know the role so well, you know the script so well, you care so damn much because your name is going on there saying, I approve of this message. And the truth is, like, when somebody wants to choose something wrong, I'm like on the floor practically, like having such a scene, because it's just wrong. And you're gonna hurt your movie, and I'm here to help you. Like, I have nothing in it. I'm not getting a commission, agents. I'm here to get the best person for this role. And if I'm wrong about the role, then tell me what I'm wrong about, and then I'll go find that person.
But I just have a side question. Has anyone, sure you guys have, when someone gets cast that you did not approve or that you weren't into, is that is hard.
I see a lot of eye rolling.
And then
I think that's a yes.
I watch the movie and it's so hard. You're like, oh my God.
It never happened to me. It never happened to me. A single time in my whole life.
Damn.
I'd say once.
I almost
once it happened. Because I'm just so fortunate. The people I work with are so damn talented, and they listen. And if we don't think they're right and articulate that to them, I guess I've said over my dead body a couple times, but I think if casting was easy, then every director wouldn't. Sinners started with Michael B. Jordan, but it was an open slate. And if it was easy, then just pick the rest of the cast, and then somebody can go get them. I think what people don't know is we work round the clock. And I've worked with Josh. We worked together once. And this man will text you morning, noon, and night about ideas and thoughts, and you text back. And Ryan, he's a dream. But for example, one night we were talking about the role of the father who opens the movie and closes the movie, and I just wanted it to be something special. So at 10 p.m. I say, how do we make this different? And I said, maybe a spoken word poet or something. And then ideas started flowing back and forth. And then you discuss Buddy Guy, and then I've done this my whole life, and I'm exhausted. There's not a day I don't say I'm tired. And and we could go into the details of how our morning starts. Usually the person they want isn't available. And they don't think the 100 other ideas that you can come up with are good enough or right for it. And so, I mean, it is a very, very difficult, or, you know, we're not going to say the times we've swayed people from making offers to this person and saying, oh, I think that person would be terrible, you know? I mean, we don't take the credit in that way. I'm not going to tell you when I've changed their mind, you know, and said, I don't think that's going to work. But that's part of it. And so.
What are you proudest of throughout your career? Is there a moment or a film or?
I feel so damn lucky that I've gotten to, I don't tend to remember what I've worked on. I really don't. I've had to have these interviews and I can't remember. I'm very much in the moment. And then when I look back on the group of directors I've gotten to have in my life and learn from, I'm so grateful that, you know, that at this moment I'm so thrilled about Sinners. But, you know, ask me in a year when something else, I'll be so proud of that. But I've been really lucky, and there's a lot of casting directors who that are just as talented as I am, that haven't had the opportunity to get to work with the level of directors that I get to work with. And I'm forever grateful for that.
I would say I agree with you in the same sense too. It's like so in the moment I can't remember. Even though I always say I feel like these people's careers, I feel like a newbie. But I would say I'm proudest of, specifically of this project, is my relationship with Josh. And that I feel a real kindred spirit. You know, I met him because I made a film, and he was in the audience of a film I had directed, and we bonded on our shared love of humanity. And to get to do this job with someone that's just as obsessed with people as I am, and you can have the craziest ideas, and they like meet you there, and then they have the capacity to make people feel safe and can lift people up in this way. It's this incredible collaboration of, it feels safe, it feels creative, it feels expansive, and it feels deep. And it's like, how many people get to, like, that's my job? I'm very proud of that.
I mean, if you just put them in a blender, we've got my answer. Each of these movies feels like a child to me. I don't ever forget anything. I don't forget anyone. They're home movies. They're not, I don't have the experience that you all have seeing these movies, and just, I wonder all the time, what would this have been like if I knew nothing about it? And I came in and I saw the first frame to the last frame, because I'm so in it. I can still say lines and dialogue. It's hard for me to watch these movies without saying the words in my head, because I've read every single one of them. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's burned as part of who I am. So, I mean, I saw like The Flick, and they mentioned a bunch of movies I worked on. I'm like, that was my movie. And you feel like this, like, my movie, even though it's not mine, it's everybody's, and it's everyone who worked on the movie, but like, that's how close I feel to it. So I'm so lucky and proud to be here and work on these movies and be in a room where people want to listen to anything that I have to say. Because sometimes it feels like when you're trying to convince somebody of a role and they don't want to hear anything you have to say. But yeah, like his film is everything to me. Theater is everything to me. Like this is all I've ever wanted to do. And I met Paul when I was so young, and he was the same. And so we just grew up together in a lot of ways. And, you know, this is 10 movies. I go off and do other things, and I think really early on I used to think I was cheating on him. And I mean, and I get that, because you have such a close personal relationship to do this. I mean, and you know, you sometimes you're going out there and you're like, I have a crazy idea, like, don't be but follow this. It's scary, it's exciting, it's everything, and I just feel honored that somehow me, like with nobody helping me, I just wandered on a film set practically one day and got hired. I still don't know how this happened, to be totally honest, and I guess it was just the fact that, between watching every movie, knowing everything, and just wanting to and being a little mouthy and opinionated, I think just got me here, and this is truly amazing. I mean, it's truly amazing to be here and be this, like you said, this panel of the first nominees. I've been watching the Academy Awards my entire life. I've been voting and screaming every time somebody won. I don't think I was wrong. All of it. And now I'm going to be sitting there. That's so crazy. And they're going to have a camera in our faces too for our reactions. Luckily, I love everyone here, so it's going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
You're going to be fine. It's fine.
I feel incredibly proud of Hamnet, and I'm really so happy to have been part of a film when Chloe Zhao did create the environment for every single person to really collaborate and really feel part of it in a proper all together. We're doing it together. We're all doing it to our best of our ability way. And I do feel it was a way of making the film that only a woman could have done. And it's really wonderful to see her there making the film in this, on the level with all these other amazing male directors who've done it their way for so long, and she's doing it her way. And it's fantastic.
I guess I feel proud in the case of The Secret Agents because there are so many special human beings that have been casted for this movie, and I felt in a way that's a big thing about our work because it has a huge responsibility with people's lives. Like you can, whenever you cast someone to be in a project, I guess that we try not to think this way because it's like too much for us and we do it a lot, so we get used to it. But whenever we cast someone to be, in my case, in a movie as important for Brazilian history and for, I don't know, for the culture of my country, when they are casted to be part of this, they are incredible. Their life, in a way, are changed. It changed their life, and they're very grateful. And they always say to me, and I feel very grateful for them to accept to be part of this and to give their I don't know, their brains, their heart, their intelligence, their sensibility to be part of it. So I feel proud when it's a match and it's good and people like it. Like that makes me proud.
All right, one last question. I'm done torturing you. All right, this panel's been greenlit as a movie. Who's casting us? Who's playing all of us in the movie? Who's playing us in the movie version of this panel?
I guess us.
We want the real thing.
Oh, I want Frances McDormand to play me. I would love that. She's too good. I know. That's who I do.
Go for the best.
Shoot for the stars.
That's right.
Shoot for the stars, go for the best.
Maybe when we get to be 78, we can all play ourselves.
We'll be in a movie with Francine. She'll be starring in it.
Can I just say one thing just to the audience? I don't know if there's actors here, but I think everyone up here, the most important thing I think we do as casting directors is set up the actors to win. And I can't tell you the number of times I've said that to a director, like, let's set the actors up to win and make sure actors don't see each other. We take such care about what we do. And you have an ally in us, even though we may seem behind, and not as not approachable, but there in the moment. But we've got your back, and we care deeply about actors.
I mean,
that's
if we're calling you in, like, there's a reason, and we want you to be the one. I don't want to see 100 more people, absolutely. I want you to be the one, and I want to make sure that I'm here and present for you and a scene partner for you. So yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's not at all your question now, I'm so sorry.
No, but I guess only Frances McDormand's gotten a job out of this.
So somebody else, come on.
Yeah.
You know who you want to play you. I'm too shy to do that. Go ahead.
Can
We
I?
cast each other.
I was going to say that also all the actors who, not only the actors who do get the part, but all the other actors that we meet and seen and watched who don't get the part, we have to, you know, one has to take one's hat off to all of them for getting up there and trying it and doing it and really giving it their all every time. And they're brilliant, because I could never do it, and they're doing it. Even the ones who don't get the part are really doing it.
And we're watching. We are watching every tape.
You should just have Wagner Moura play you. I'm sorry, I can't shut my, you know.
Thank you for respecting my question.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Wagner.
Excellent casting. And I just want to say congratulations again to all of you, and whatever happens on March 15th, you all great representatives of the first class of Oscar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and thank you all for coming.